You know, the Nerd Whisperer has always been more of a rumor than a person.
Since its first gathering in 1970, San Diego Comic-Con was a mecca for those that society would brand as geeks, nerds, and dorks. Hollywood soon took notice of the profitable buzz this growing geek convention could lend to their projects.
You know, when you're building a show, your cast is like your children. You want to give them all the advantages in the world.
So they began bringing their shiniest Hollywood stars to court the geeks and the geek press. But one wrong word, one bad quote, and the nerd press would sniff out a poser, a pretender. Enter the Nerd Whisperer.
You know, if you have a test, you study. If you have the bars, you cram. If you're having troubles, you get a tutor.
The first experience. We were bringing the cast of Lost down in its first year down at Comic-Con. We were concerned. Dominic Monaghan kind of pulls us aside and he says, look, Peter Jackson knows a guy. And we say, how do we find him?
It goes to Alias, from Alias to Lost, from Lost all the way to, you know, the Star Trek films. There's this touch of nerdiness that rings authentic.
When I was first cast as the speedster on Heroes, the producer set up a meeting with me. And when I showed up, it was just an empty room and a dossier waiting for me. And inside the dossier, it was all sorts of books I was supposed to read, movies I was supposed to watch, TV shows I was supposed to binge, like really specific, hardcore.
Some days we see people in the store with stacks of books doing deep research, and you know, WME, ICM, CAA, they all come in here buying the same books, and then we see the actors and directors hoping and queuing up for these particular projects, and it always goes back to the Nerd Whisperer.
But not everyone thinks the Nerd Whisperer is a good thing.
This Nerd Whisperer is dangerous. Having others pretend, it's not good for business. First time I heard about the Nerd Whisperer, Marvel brought up all the Avengers for the first time. I saw that ass talking to Ruffalo, sat him down, and I watched him because I was like, this is real curious. And he was schooling Mark Ruffalo on how to speak geek for the panel. And I said, this is insidious. That guy.
We need someone to come in and investigate this Nerd Whisperer before it's too late. The Nerd Whisperer has to be stopped.
Yet no one dares to reveal the location of the Nerd Whisperer. He is nowhere to be found.
We have our theories.
Super sub deep on Reddit. There's a room where you can talk to the Nerd Whisperer and ask questions.
I've seen shadows lurking in hallways. I've seen crushed out cigarette butts without lipstick. I've heard the footsteps. They bring him in the dark of the night, and then they usher him out with cloaks.
It was Playboy's team of cultural heroes that was determined to crack the mystery behind this huge Hollywood secret. They worked tirelessly, waiting and searching for weeks and hours on end, until finally.
Listen, I heard through the rumor mill what Kevin Smith was saying about me. And I need to set the record straight.
Who are you?
I'm every comic book hero, movie character, gamer, and superfan compressed into no one. It's my one and only job to protect the nerd legacy. Have you ever seen nerds when they're angry? They get crazy. They're unstoppable. They start writing in the forums. You can't do anything about it. Nerd knowledge is a very powerful thing. It can make or break a Hollywood actor these days. Working with the cast of Lost was one of the greatest challenges that I ever faced. But that Damon Lindelof was really a delight to work with. One night, I sneaked into his Beverly Hills mega mansion.
There he was, over my shoulder, and he said something to me. And I felt both like a complete idiot and profoundly enlightened at the same time. And when I turned, he was gone. And I can never repeat to you what he said, but I would argue that I think I understand life better now.
I whispered into his ear, they're all dead. Also, polar bears. You think this whole nerds being cool thing just happened? Come on.
Would you tell me whose name is? Tell me what his name is.
Keep the secret or pack your bags.
If there's anyone left in Hollywood with any self-respect, they never give me up.
I hear little things here and there about how this Nerd Whisperer is shaping the world.
Whatever it takes to make the show better.
And you pay this man for fake knowledge. This is horse. It's our club. F off.
I'm not that hard to find. You just have to look in the right places.
Secret solstice is the 21st of June, the day that we get like almost 24 hours sunlight. Living in Iceland, it gets really